Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today? We're gonna get going in a couple minutes here. Don't mind my squeaky chair. Gonna be doing the Mental Health Mondays. I do have an episode coming out later this evening at 6 p.m. Central. However, I thought it'd be fun today to do a session with myself, kind of a walkthrough of what's going on, and let everybody see a rundown of how it takes place. And if you're interested in learning a bit about more of my story and possibly seeing if it'd be a good fit for you to come on. We'll get started in a couple minutes here. Give people time to, catch up. All right. So again, this is Mental Health Mondays. I do put out a pre-recorded video that we record sometime during the week, and then I edit it, get it all ready for you to view on Monday evenings. And on Monday mornings, there is an article, which I'm going to go over in just a few moments here with you. All right, and I do want to say thanks for joining up today. This is again Mental Health Mondays. Then I'd be doing a solo edition, kind of letting everybody know some of my story, and just to be fun to do once in a while. My name is Brandon. I have over 20 years in the entertainment and music industry. Started performing when I was 14, giving lessons at that age too, and done quite a bit. Done everything from management to sound and lighting, engineering, studio management, helping artists connect to the right engineer and find the way to get their debut album created. I have put on shows, a couple of them, been very successful. Graduated from Full Sail University in 2017 with my bachelor's. I've been in several bands, performed several hundred shows, play multiple instruments, and just love this industry. Very passionate about it. Love the people that I've met. Had great relationships, great times, great experiences. It's very harrowing and hard times to get through, but we've made it, and it's ultimately brought us to a greater destination. If you're just joining in, this is Mental Health Mondays, and I'm going to do a solo edition. It's the first one, so bear with me. We'll get better over time. However, I do want to say, before I dive in, any of the information provided here, even though I do have a wealth of experience, I myself am not a mental health professional, and so anything that I'm saying on here is not to be taken as advice, but merely maybe education and entertainment purposes, or information and entertainment purposes. I am looking possibly into getting certified as a mental health professional, but we'll see. One journey at a time right now. Go ahead and get comfy, sit back. I'm going to bring you some entertainment today. We're going to talk about some of the articles I've been putting out regarding mental health. We're going to go over some of the ways that you can support and be an advocate for mental health and mental health specifically for this music industry. And after that, we'll play the game. I think that'll be fun. All right, so let's see how we can check any of this out. I go to the apps. Can I see myself on there? I don't know how that works. It doesn't say that I'm live or streaming, but it is connected through the app that I'm using. So, again, appreciate your patience and just bear with me while I get some of this figured out the first couple rounds. Go ahead and pull up some of these articles so you can take a look at what I've been up to. Take a look at those for just a moment. Maybe it'll show me when it's done. Okay. All right, so with the mental health, we are going to talk about starting the conversation. And so this was an article that I first wrote a couple weeks ago, highlighting the amount of pressure that is in the entertainment industry some of us find ourselves under, unique challenges. Other people than just the artists can face these mental health concerns, such as anxiety, depression, just to name a couple of the surface level ones. Another reason that I want to begin the conversation, especially around the music industry, is because we need to break the stigma. There's nothing weak about being mentally ill or seeking help about being mentally healthy. There's only resilience in it. It's going to teach you more about yourself, more about the external world, and more how to deal with the internal factors that externalize and manifest outside. Building support networks. I hope that through this community, you'll be able to find other like-minded folk that you can connect with, have honest and genuine conversations with, inspire others, learn from others, debate, but make sure that it's healthy and kind and informative. Backing things up with information is always the best versus opinions, which is what I do in my articles. Down here, we'll just go down here quick. Each of my articles are tagged with the appropriate article where the information came from. See that? Just click on the link, but the hyperlink is below if you want it. Another part of this first article I wrote was starting a conversation. This is the power of pausing, taking a moment, taking a beat, taking a rest. Also musical terms. Somebody said something you don't like. Maybe just take a moment. Think about what it is that you actually want to say. What message are you trying to convey and get across? Here's some actionable steps that we've been talking about for mental health. You can start by opening up the conversation, what we're doing today. Again, you can catch the interview between Philip St. John and myself. It's going to come out tonight at 6 p.m. You can also catch the first one with Sterling Banks. Next week I'll have one with Joe, Smokin' Joe. That'll be coming out. We've opened up the conversation. Next, we're going to build that support network. What does that look like? That looks like actively seeking out and maintaining relationships that have a healthy and positive influence. So if you're in recovery and you're trying not to drink or abuse any substances or be around, understand that it can be hard to say no. It can be hard to not want to hang out with people. But ultimately, you got to safeguard your own mental health. And so you have to decide what the best decision for yourself is. Maybe at this time, maybe at that time. Today is a choice that you have to make. Also consider professional networking as part of your mental health strategy. Get yourself a therapist, somebody to talk to, someone to listen to, a sponsor, another mental health advocate. It's best not to use significant others or possibly partners, spouses. This is a lot of pressure for them, and it's a lot of weighted opinion that you're going to receive. Even if it is backed up by facts, you still might perceive it as an unjust or unfair opinion. And before you react, you might have to take a moment to pause. You do want people that are honest with you, people that will critique you and judge you with honesty and an open heart, people that have the best intentions and best interests for you, people that want to see you succeed. And that brings us to the last thing, is pausing before reacting. There's a lot of things I wish I've reacted to better in my past. A simple pause could have quite possibly changed some things. So that's just the first one. What's that? Week later, this article came out, managing stress and burnout. Something that we all definitely feel, especially around this time. There's a lot of high tensions, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stuff happening. Lemon water, I love lemon. Okay, so stress and burnout, they're definitely not just buzzwords. They're something that we all feel. We do get constant pressure to release, perform, put out social media, put out content, make sure that it's up to the standards with all the content, videos, music, promoting, and then the shows, performances, what goes into the performances, practicing, transportation, scheduling, so many elements go into your favorite artists or even your favorite local artists putting on these events and shows. This is a 24/7 business. So the reality of the music industry is stress is inevitable, but it's part of our profession, and in this music industry, it's a unique set of stressors. Like I just said, constantly to create, perform, please fans, that does take a toll on the mental health. There's some stats for you there. Also being constantly scrutinized, which we were just talking about in the last article, but feeling the difference between having somebody scrutinize you and give you positive criticism. One's coming from a loving place, and one is maybe just a fan that doesn't know what they're talking about. Burnout is a long-term consequence of unmanaged stress. So it's not just physical exhaustion, but also emotional and mental fatigue. And burnout can manifest in various ways, including decreased productivity, detachment, some health issues, maybe substance abuse issues, maybe drinking, maybe escapism. So managing your stress and preventing burnout requires a multifaceted approach. Proper nutrition, exercise, adequate sleep. These play a significant role in your mental health. These also play a significant role in your ability to perform and create as a musician. You want to start prioritizing your mental health at the first thing of the day and the last thing before you go to bed. Prioritize your mental health to your needs. There are professionals that can help. There are apps that can help. You can do your research and find out which ones are best for you. But I would recommend maybe a combination of both. I use a combination of both myself, and I find that to be helpful. I also find that listening to my body a lot more, if I stay in rhythms with my sleep schedule, that will help quite a bit. Pardon me, excuse me one second. Let me turn these notifications off. Also finding a support group, something I'm hoping that we can find through here. You can find a buddy, a friend, a person, someone that can hear you, or someone that can share a story that inspires you or gives you a new perspective, gives you something to think about. The music industry itself has a role to play in managing stress and preventing burnout. Record labels, management companies, even fans can contribute to a healthier work environment. So transparency, fair contracts, reasonable work expectations are steps in the right direction. So as an artist manager, I am one myself. I've also studied artist management. And some people say this and some people say that. Some people say don't work harder than your artist. Some people say you have to work harder than your artist to lead them. I want to find a combination that's healthy, somewhere in the middle. I like to talk to my artists and find out what their goals are. Then I'm able to create a schedule and way to track that progress. Instead of let's all get it done at once, not having any type of hierarchy or organization. So prioritization and organization are going to be crucial if you're a management team or if you're even an engineer in managing and prioritizing tracks, audio, game staging, and mixing all the tracks in the right order, getting rid of duplicate tracks and make sure there's no phasing. There's a lot of preparation that goes into every facet of this industry. And that will help you manage your burnout of stress or preventing you from burning out from too much stress. Because it's going to be prioritized. It's going to be done. It's going to be like easier. You know, if I wake up at 7 and I say, the first thing I'm going to do is get some sun, walk around, have some coffee, ready. And the second thing I'm going to do is reply to DMs and check emails, reply to emails. And then the third thing I'm going to do is look at my schedule and start adding to it. Now, if I didn't prioritize this, if I woke up, started emailing and responding to DMs right away, probably get overwhelmed. Could read a bad message, bad email, and then just put the covers back over, go right back to bed, sleep another hour. When you wake up, you're groggy, you gotta make your coffee, hair's all disheveled, you gotta get ready, figure out what you're gonna talk about, go back to that comment that ruined your morning. A lot of different scenarios, but it's a way to help manage prioritizing. So that's going to be a quick run through of this one. Again, subscribe and share, join the conversation. I do have Discord, so if you go to maybe I don't have it here, but I do have a Discord. There's going to be links somewhere, so you can share your stories. You can start to have a conversation. You can ask questions. I'll get back to you, and then I'll be putting out some resources in there as well. We're going to go over one more article, but if you're just checking in with us, again, thanks for joining us today. My name is Brandon. This is Mental Health Mondays. I thought it would be fun to do a version of Mental Health Mondays that's solo. I'm going to be playing the game later on. You'll get to hear some of my answers to the questions and get to see what the format's like in case you might be interested in coming on and sharing your story on the podcast. We would love to hear you. This is about mental health and how we can spread awareness and start the conversation, and that's basically it. From there, it can go anywhere. We're going to go over this last article, then I will go over some ways that you can become an advocate, help support, and then we'll get into the game. All right. I've always been a fan of Mondays. I have always been a fan of Mondays. I have been quite the opposite of Garfield. Don't like lasagna, and I love Mondays. So, community support is not just about having people around you. It's about having the right people around you. About having people. A supportive community can act as a buffer against stress, providing emotional and even financial support when needed. Research has shown that individuals with strong social support networks have lower rates of depression and anxiety. Pardon me. These articles are number 12. Go to the bottom. You will find reference for that. In the music industry, the concept of community takes an additional layer of complexity. The industry is built on networks. Networks of artists, networks of producers, networks of managers, networks of fans. A supportive community can be the difference between a one-hit wonder and a sustainable career. It can provide constructive feedback, open doors to opportunities, and offer emotional support during the inevitable ups and downs of your journey as an artist, fan, engineer, producer, or other type of creative. So building a supportive community in the music industry comes with its own set of challenges. The industry is notoriously competitive, and the pressure to succeed can sometimes turn potential allies into rivals. Moreover, the irregular hours of constant travel associated in the music industry can make it difficult to maintain long-term relationships. That has been known to be a thing. Social media, while a powerful tool for building a fan base, can also be a double-edged sword. The anonymity it provides can sometimes lead to toxic behavior affecting an artist's mental health. Therefore, it's crucial to differentiate between your online community and your real-life support networks, as each serves a different purpose. So, actionable steps to building a community. That's what we're doing here today. We're inviting you on our journey, on my journey, on starting this podcast, on being in the entertainment industry for 20 years, on getting educated on business in the entertainment industry, on helping other people in the industry, managing studios, performing, playing bass, just connecting with people, partying, knowing how to chat and how to just be a person to another person. All that you're going to find here. Building a community doesn't happen overnight. There's actual steps that we take to foster a supportive community. We have to be proactive. We have to reach out, maintain and manage connections. And whether it's a quick text or coffee catch-up, small gestures can go a long way. As you know, many of you that are familiar with my work, I reach out to you pretty often. And even if it's been a few weeks, I might just say, hey, how you doing? What's up? I like to keep up. I like to maintain those relationships. Something that I learned a long time ago, something that I've naturally been attuned to, knowing that people want to feel heard, people want to be remembered, people want to be liked, people want to be a friend, people want to have a friend. So it's there. It says, don't underestimate the power of professional organizations and support groups specifically designed for those in the music industry. That is what I'm trying to create here. Again, this is just about starting a conversation, so there's no specifics, no type of mental health, no, there's not, just be kind and be true. Other than that, it's just about starting the conversation with this community. It says community support is not a luxury, it is a necessity, especially in an industry as demanding as our music industry. So, if you did find any value in some of these things, these articles, go ahead and subscribe to my Substack. Again, all these articles are cited appropriately. Well, that's not oh my goodness. That's not too good. Why are they not being found? Well, that's not very good. I promise you I did get the information from there, so let's see what's going on. Alright, so that's one that was put out today. The importance of community support. So I have put out, looks like 24 articles, some about sync licensing, some about building an online presence, some about what I've done, some about building this business. A lot of it on sync licensing, but like I was saying, each Monday you're going to start seeing these blue Substack articles coming out. 9 a.m. Alright, so that's that. If you want to become a mental health advocate and help support, you can do so here through the Patreon. This is the Mental Health Mondays Advocate. You can click join. I cannot join my own subscription, so it's going to tell me that here in just a moment. But I would love if you were to join and subscribe, so that way we can get this community started, can start growing and getting more resources, getting on some more people that maybe you want to hear from on an interview. Maybe there's somebody that, we might have to pay for their time to come on the interview as a mental health professional or a psychologist. I do have a music therapist scheduled for November 30th that I'll be doing the interview for, and then that's going to come out the following week. But, at this time, I'm just starting to build this community, and it's for us, for the music industry, for those that have hard times, that want to talk to someone, that don't know where to go, that feel that they have something to share, something to say. This is going to be for us. You will be getting early access. If you are, it's only $5 a month to become a mental health advocate for the Mental Health Mondays. And you will be getting early access to those interviews. So again, I do interviews throughout the week. They don't come out till Monday, but as an advocate, you will get early access to those edited videos before they come out. You will also get exclusive content where I'll be doing more one-on-one sessions or more solo sessions like this that won't be live, but they'll be recorded with purposeful information, and you'll get access to that, as well as our private community. We want to keep the community on the private level just because we want to keep it focused. We start letting people from football leagues in there, or from jet ski racing, or from the spacewalk. I think that might start confusing. We do want to keep it to industry professionals, whether you're an artist, musician, backup session player, an engineer, a studio owner, a music creator of some sort, manager, booker, promoter. You're welcome to come on this podcast. You're welcome to share your story. And we would love to have you join as an advocate to be part of this journey. Those of you that are interested in sync licensing, there is more information about sync licensing here, where I provide exclusive sync licensing insights. I will teach you tips and tricks on how to mix, master, or even get metadata proper, and another community that you'll have exclusive content with. And then those that are artists and they need management services, At this time, I'm not really taking on any new artists as a full-on signed artist. However, I do have Artist Management Pro services available. So those of you that are artist managers and want some one-on-one consultation, personalized services, or access to some of the exclusive information that my artists get, I'd be happy to have you join this community as well. So again, my name is Brandon. I've been in the industry for over 20 years, talking about music, talking about making music, wrapping up chords. I once got a good gig, got a job, got hired as a studio professional just because I knew how to wrap the chord properly. But of all the other interviewees, I knew how to properly wrap cable. I've been told that more than once. I learned that when I was probably 19. It was later into my life, but have ever started wrapping chords that way. Saved your chords. Studio owners will love you. This is going to be a solo session of Mental Health Mondays, where we select a category, and then based off of that category, I will go into the categories, and we're going to get a question. Appreciate your patience. This is all new, but I'm going to keep sticking with it. I don't know if this is live. It's supposed to be live. It's supposed to be streaming live through YouTube and Twitch, but I won't know until after. And we'll do it again next time. All right, so we're going to spin the wheel again. This is Mental Health Mondays. My name is Brandon. Let's go ahead and get going. Creative process and mental health. So I'll do that. Come over here. I have creative process and mental health right here. It says, can you share an instance where your mental health either hindered or enhanced your creativity? Okay. Yes, I can share an instance.
Caught hiding. Just a month, Daniel Smith was in Ukraine scouting out an old nuclear power plant facility deep in the woods.
My TikTok app decided to start playing. That's weird. Okay. Yes, I can share an instance where my mental health either hindered or enhanced my creativity. I can probably do both. Let's do both. So, big. Okay. So, when enhanced, yes, when I was abusing narcotics and substances a lot. Sorry again.
Just a month.
That was not close. So, when I was abusing or using, experimenting, socializing, tantalizing, eating, ingesting, whatever you want to call it, when I was using drugs, I was in a mindset that I thought that enhanced my mental creativity. I thought that being stoned made me more unique or play different things. That maybe hallucinogenics made more of a connection to the music that I was making. Amphetamines were my favorite, and I always made music on those and just kept going. So now that I've spent some years working on my mental health, working on my sleep, working on not abusing or using substances, I still drink, use CBD, a little THC, but nothing like my life was before. Nothing at all like it was before. And I would say that I don't know if it really enhanced my creativity. It definitely made me feel at the time that it did. I don't know, because, being on stimulants and having a looper 5-6 hours later, I don't think it's really helped. Might have made some cool things, might have thought it was cool, but probably annoyed everyone around you for those 5-6 hours. Nope, that definitely happened. So, yeah, I don't think that they helped. But I think that the experience that I had for me helped for me today. I think I can still tap into those feelings and experiences and use that to still be creative. And my production levels and creativity and ability to create is much more on point these days. I know how to get something out of my head onto the DAW. I know how to transcribe something from the DAW to the other way. I know how to create a workflow and a management system and not just get lost on one thing for hours, and I know how to walk away if I've been on something for more than 45 minutes. It's time to readjust. I'm a believer in these 90-minute cycles that our minds and chemistry is kind of attuned to, where we can get real intense focus for about 90 minutes, but after that, start to diminish, get diminishing returns. So it's good to switch up the activity, maybe take a walk, maybe journal, maybe stretch, do some burpees, whatever your jam is. And then a way that it negatively affects my creativity, yeah, alcohol. I cannot perform while drinking. And there's a couple shows when I drank a little too much and just was sloppy. Very disappointing, very shameful. Didn't feel good to be performing that, and it didn't feel good to get off stage. It carried on for a while. So alcohol, I usually don't drink alcohol and perform because they don't mix well for me. My fingers don't work as well. My brain is slow. I'm a lot more sociable. I'm a lot more fun and outgoing, but performing music, no, I'm not gonna happen. All right, let's do another one. Self-care and lifestyle choices. Didn't we just do this one? Nope. Okay. My memory's not that great. All right. Question is, what self-care practices have you found most beneficial for your mental health? It's a great question. That, I would say, goes back to my sleep schedule. Knowing when, if I don't go to bed, if I don't get in bed and close my eyes before 11 p.m., I'm up the rest of the night. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just the way I'm built. It's been my whole life. But because most of my younger adult life I was experimenting and abusing and using, I just didn't sleep. My whole life I've never really slept that much. 4 to 6 hours is usually a good night's sleep. And now that I've been working on my sleep, my mental health over the last 3 years, very hard over the last 3 years, very hard. I know it happened a couple nights ago. Had my boys over, stayed up with them, and then I tried to get some stuff done after they went to bed. It was up until like 1 o'clock. I couldn't sleep, couldn't fall asleep till 6 a.m. It happens to me all the time if I don't go to bed before 10. So that is something that I have found to be routine to help prioritize and help with that last question. My short-term memory is gone. I've been going, I guess just to fill people in. Also, haven't been driving lately, haven't been able to go to work due to me having focal aware seizures. They are not full-blown seizures that you might see as a normal epileptic have, but I've been experiencing these seizures for quite a few months now. First started maybe 10, 11 years ago, and started getting these episodes. And at the time, I thought it was due to my lifestyle. So for a few months, I had changed. They went away. It hasn't happened until maybe June. Actually, maybe I think about it. I think I first had symptoms maybe April, May, and just kind of shrugged it off. Didn't really think too much of it. Had a lot of stressors and was just kind of going through transition of life and didn't think too much of it. And then once that transition happened, things alleviated. There was a little less tension, and I started getting these episodes pretty frequently. They're not fun. They're focal aware seizures, so basically I get a 10 to 30 second warning that, oh shit, something's coming. And then I can barely move, I get blurry vision, just kind of stare straight ahead. I don't shake or anything, but it's pouring sweat, really confused, don't know what's happening around me. I get strong synesthesia, confusion of senses. I always get a strong smell of something that's not there. It's usually cheese or tomato-y something. And they last for 3, 4, 5 minutes. Can't really function, just kind of have to sit there, wait it out, stand there, wait it out. And they've happened while I was driving, they've happened while I was with my kids, they've happened while I was eating, they've happened while I was at work, they've happened while I was at home, they've happened while I was sleeping, happened right when I wake up. They've happened, there's no rhyme or reason, they just kind of happen. And so I can't drive, I can't get around. It's been hard. I'm not really fearful, I'm not really worried about what issue or disease, most likely temporal lobe epilepsy, TLE. I'm waiting for testing, which I have in 3 days, which will be on the 26th. After testing, hopefully I can get diagnosed, and then medication, and can begin to start treatment. But that's kind of what led me to start these Mental Health Mondays, is I'm not a person that can sit and do nothing. I can't sit and play video games all day. Can't sit and just watch TV all day. I can sit and play video games for a couple hours and watch TV for a couple hours, and I love movies. I can make music. But I can't just sit and do just that all day. So it's like, what do I do? And it's like, I'll start talking about my journey, and started talking about mental health, and talked to a couple friends, and it just kind of took a life of its own, which has been amazing. And that's why I'm here in front of you today, talking to you about the Mental Health Mondays. And so that's a little bit of my story and why I'm here and why you're here with me. I appreciate you joining. Thanks for coming in. Let's give this another. Yeah, we already did that one. Okay, I'm going to choose a different one. Advice and resources. All right. This is a great question. What strategies would you suggest for building resilience in this industry? I think resilience is important. I was once told by somebody that I love dearly that they don't want to be resilient. They don't want to be strong. And that was absolutely heartbreaking. Because resilience is how we can build fortitude, build a good foundation, and eventually a supporting network to help others. Being resilient means you're not going to break down in the most unnecessary or unneeded ways. Having resilience means that you have some self-respect and some confidence, and you know where you stand on yourself with your own point of view. Having resilience is your pathway to moving forward. Having resilience, I think, or believe, is a great human characteristic and trait. So what strategies would I suggest for building resilience in this industry? Not giving a fuck. That's probably, just if somebody says something, shrug it off. Because as we were talking before, sorry, excuse me, let me be on mute. As I was saying before, somebody might say something that you don't like, and you might react. You've got to take a pause, take a moment, take a beat, take a rest. Like, do I really care about getting my point to this person? Is it going to make a difference, positive way? Or is it just going to spark more anger, hate, fuel, more reason for anger and debate and this negativity? Building resilience is going to help you navigate that. You read a comment that you don't like or don't agree with, and says, "Oh yeah, your music's whack. Beats are whack. Your beats are ripped off from YouTube. Ain't nobody gonna listen to you. You stole your shit from so and so. You biting this, you biting that. You capping, and you just wanna fire back. You just wanna be like, hey, listen up, asshole. I put my life and soul into this. This ain't what it is. You don't know what you're talking about. It is what it is. Blah 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 blah." That's not resilience. Resilience is a pillar. It's like you standing tall and being like, okay, I get that. I can understand where you're coming from with your viewpoints, and I appreciate your feedback. You might say something like, it hasn't helped me in any way, or maybe it has, or maybe it's better just to maybe not say anything at all. Read it and then make no comment. But the resilient part is not letting it get to you, not letting yourself internalize it, not letting yourself ruminate, not letting yourself dwell on those negative thoughts, emotions, feelings, curiosities, wonders, whatever they might be. Another strategy for building resilience is the things I've been talking about: getting a supporting network, having friends that are honest with you, having a therapist, having a unbiased opinion. A therapist is a professional, unbiased opinion. They don't care. They care about helping you. They don't care about what your past is, and they're not concerned with what your how would I say this? They're there to listen to you with an unbiased ear and show you what's going on with yourself. It's not your mom, it's not your dad, it's not your uncle, it's not your auntie, it's not your brother, it's not your sister, it's not your son, it's not your daughter, it's not your wife, it's not your husband, it's not your significant other, it's not your poly partner, it's not your trans partner, it's not your partner, it's not this, it's not that. It is a person that sees you unobjectively, has one goal in mind, and that is to better your mental health, to build mental resilience, to build mindfulness, to develop confidence and character. One other thing for building resilience, getting an app to schedule things. I think resilience can come in a lot of forms. I am resiliently at being organized. I'm resilient at staying organized. Setting app timers on my app to say this is when I have to go through and redo every 3 months. Reorganize these files. How's the business looking? That's being resilient as well, because I am taking it upon myself to look at myself in my past and judge myself effectively, how I can do better. So those are just a few ways. Let's do maybe one more, and we'll wrap up. It is 3:17, so it's almost been an hour. I'm going to try and probably do one of these every Monday, and then you'll get the pre-recorded version every Monday. Let's see here. External factors affecting mental health. That is a great one. External factors affecting mental health. It's a perfect one for me. It says, what role do I think managers and labels play in an artist's mental well-being? I would say 50 to 95% of your artist's well-being or morale is going to be dependent on the positions and environment they're in. And as an artist manager and label, you will craft and cater to their environment. So, what role do I think? I think that finding the right venues as a manager and label are very important. If your artist doesn't drink, maybe putting them in a bar 24/7 is not the best, especially if they're on recovery, on the road to recovery, especially if they're in recovery. Then find different places that might work for them. Coffee shops, music houses, libraries, maybe not a library, but, community centers, birthday parties, just something other than the standard bar venue. Another thing, as a manager playing in the mental well-being of your artist is providing the honest, fair feedback and criticism, and letting your artist know that you're coming from a place of compassion, and that when you are telling them something that might be hard to hear, that it's only one perspective, or maybe multiple perspectives, but it is to benefit your career ultimately. It's not to benefit the manager's career, it's not to benefit the label's career, it's to benefit the artist's career. Having an artist that you believe in and work with is crucial. I don't work with people that I don't listen to their music. I'm not big on DJs at this time, and so I don't work with DJs. I'm just not familiar with their music. I don't know the terms and the lingo. I don't know the space. And so I work with more rock artists, traditional 5-piece, 6-piece bands, solo artists, hip-hop, stuff like that. How often? I try to talk to my artists at least 2 to 3 times a week, if not every day. That morale is going to be supportive. There's going to be days when you don't talk, obviously, just like in a relationship, but being an artist-manager relationship is very much like a symbiotic marriage where it's a give-take, take-give, 50-50, not 50-50. Sometimes you pull 60-40, sometimes it's 40-60. But as long as I'm believing in my artists, making sure that they're taking care of themselves, making sure that they're prioritizing their own mental health, making sure I'm putting them in good environments, putting them in good studios. If I put my artists into a studio and they're on the road to recovery, and I put them into a studio that offers free booze, I just did not do them any justice. I did a disservice to my artists and that community. So I feel that as a manager, as a label, you have a huge responsibility on your artist's mental well-being, but you're not to prioritize their mental well-being over your own. As an individual, our own mental health and well-being needs to be prioritized as number one so that we may help others who need to find their path. That's something that, I don't know, at this time, that's why I'm not giving advice. I'm not a mental health professional, but I do hope that through my mental health journey that I've been working on and learning and discovering, that it might help somebody else. I have been through 3 therapists in the last 4 years. Unfortunately, those 3 therapists have, 2 of them had family issues and had to move on. And so I kind of felt abandoned by therapists, and that was very discouraging. And I would recommend finding a therapist because it's going to help. I remember learning about mindfulness. That's something I still use now. Checking my surroundings about what's real and what's maybe in my mind or subconscious. If you have an artist and you feel like they are having an off week, maybe talk to them like a person and don't talk to them like a manager. Talk to them like a friend. Maybe just go out to lunch, see a movie. Obviously, going to the shows when you can make it is important. You need to provide that morale and support. I think that as a manager, there is a lot of responsibility on the artist's well-being. But again, it's not to be prioritized over the own individual. Let's do one more. These are fun. Again, if you're just joining, this is kind of wrapping up, but my name's Brandon. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I've started this Mental Health Mondays journey to hopefully have people like you come on and share your story. This is kind of the format. I have you on. It's an interview-based format where we spin the wheel, you get a category, and then you spin the wheel, you get a question, and then I ask a question, you spin the category, select the category, I spin the question, ask the question, and then you answer. And so far, these have been taking about an hour, and they can definitely take more time as we're discovering people are enjoying and having a lot of fun. The influence of culture and society. The influence of culture and society. This is a great one, too. How do you think the public's perception of mental health has changed over the years? I know that it's changed over the years drastically. The stigma is still there, but it's loosening. The rough and tough need to be an alpha male that doesn't talk about anything or doesn't experience any type of emotional feeling other than lust. I don't think that's beneficial for our society to move forward anymore. Maybe at one time it did serve its purpose, but at this time we have too much fucking going on. And so the public's perception of mental health has changed over the years by this exact situation. Starting conversations, talking to your friends, saying, hey, it's not fun at first, or maybe you're uncomfortable or don't know how to talk, or maybe you don't have someone to show you how. Maybe you don't know how to find mental health. And hopefully this is one of the ways, but I do not want this to be the only way. I want you to go out and find your way. There's resources online. There's community resources. There's professional resources. There are Facebook groups, Discord groups, publications and articles. There's YouTube videos. There's inspirational videos. There's communities. If you're employed and you have insurance, you can talk to them. They can help you. If you're not employed but not homeless, there are resources in the county. And if you are unemployed and homeless, there are resources at the county as well. Public health perception has changed over the years by just opening up the conversation, having less stigma, saying that it's okay, spreading awareness. Keep going. If you start therapy, don't stop. Don't go 2 sessions and you know what they're talking about. Do it for a year and then say they don't know what they're talking about. Do it for a year and a half, 2 years, and then say, I don't know what I was talking about. How do I feel that the public's perception of mental health has changed? I feel that it's changed for the better, that it's going to continue to change for the better. We're starting to understand that our mental health is just or more important than our physical health. Our mental health has, if not a giant, crucial role in our physical health. I think our mental health and our environments are going to be right up there. Your mental health and your environments determine your external factors of how you're representing yourself, representing those experiences that you're going through around you. So again, thanks for joining us today. This is Mental Health Mondays. This has been a solo edition. If you want to be an advocate for Mental Health Mondays, you can go to the Patreon right here, Patreon/PlayItAgain. Mental Health Mondays, be an advocate, $5. You're going to get access to interviews like this that are not released. You're going to get early access to interviews. You'll get exclusive content, which will be probably like a ebook that I write. I like writing these ebooks. You might get some, I don't know, maybe I'll give shout outs, accolades, maybe people that are very active. I can give them a shout out on Facebook, give them some video shout outs too. And then, of course, you'll be able to join the private community, which is going to be filtered through Discord. So you can get on that private community by joining right here. Other services as well, but we're focused on mental health today. And again, I do put out articles every Monday morning. These have been put out. The first 3, starting conversation, managing stress and burnout, and today was the importance of community support. So go give those a like and subscribe. And again, if you find this valuable, if you appreciate what I'm doing today, if you like what I'm doing today, if you want to see more of this, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and of course, give me some feedback. Let me know if you found this useful. Let me know if you found this informative, or if you never want to see my face again. Let me know. I want to hear from you.